I'm with you. I am broke every single week. I have 20,000 gold and usually I'm draining it all the way to zero each week now that Theamine is out and Transcendence is in. Today, we're going to talk about a couple of different underlying issues with the reason that you literally have no gold every single week. So let's go ahead and get into it. The first thing we're going to talk about are elixirs and Transcendence and their entire system. So for now, many people are saying reduce the gold cost. We don't need this gold sink in our version of the game, right? In the West, everything is sped up. That's what everyone is saying. We don't have enough time. We don't have all these resources to continually grow upon and have all this gold to sink into these systems. Well, this is partially true for sure, but also I believe the issue with Transcendence and elixirs is not the gold cost per tap. In my opinion, it's the actual system, and it needs a heavy improvement. Not only for all the veterans that have been playing the game since day one or just for a long time in general that really dislike the system. Imagine a new player's perspective on this system. Literally throwing all of your gold on this crazy RNG, two crazy RNG systems that still are likely not giving you functionally what you're trying to get out of it, which is 35 or 40 set, and hitting your Transcendence to a point where it actually makes a difference in your raids and in your boss fights. I definitely don't have all the solutions, but it is a massive pain point for most players, these two systems, especially elixirs, because it's been in the game longer, and it's pretty much a requirement to get into the later systems of the game, the later raids like Theamine. And then second, the Transcendence system. Again, this is the same thing. It's just another RNG system that you have to pour a ton of gold in. Just for my Glavier to go to level 7 on her chest piece in 2 pence, 125,000 gold. While for some people, it takes 20,000 gold. And that's the real problem, is that the range that it can take because of how heavy the RNG is so punishing. And this seems to be a little bit of a trend. We're going to talk about this in just a second as well with some of the other systems in the game right now. But the difference between getting pretty lucky and pretty unlucky is just too far apart and affects you not just in those systems, but in everything else that you want to do with that character or that account. Imagine having an extra 100,000 gold to buy another level 9 gem instead of spending that 100,000 gold on Transcendence because you got unlucky, or because you were able to get lucky and now you can spend that gold on a gem. Or maybe you wanted to hone up another alt because you want to do, those activities. Well, now you can't because you were unlucky with this particular system or whatever it may be. And I think that feels really bad and it feels extremely unrewarding. The good news is that the director has already come out and stated that he is looking to change both of those systems because they are too punishing and because they are not fun for new players. And big trust, they're not fun for older players either. So that is something that I'm looking forward to changing in the future. And that's why I'm not pushing, like I said, my elixirs too hard right now, trying to get 35, 40 set on any of my alts or anything like that. I'm chilling. Now, another topic for this massive disparity here is honing. And I'm just going to touch on this just a second because honing has been a complaint for a long time, especially honing a con gear, is that, again, the disparity is too large between getting lucky and unlucky. It's hundreds of thousands of gold, hundreds of thousands of materials, hundreds of thousands of shards. It's just too much. At the end of the day, this is to progress to doing normal events in the game, normal raids, not going for the all-out crazy, going for 1630. That's a whole nother topic on its own. This is just to get to 1610, just to get to 1620 in June for Echidna. That's normal raid activities. This is something that just makes the game feel bad. Honing used to feel fun. It's like, oh my god, yes, I get to go tap my gear 20 times over the course of a day or two. Now you go and do all your dailies, you do your raids, and it's like, okay, I get to tap once or twice. And you're likely going to fail those attempts. And in my opinion, they already have the solution to this problem. They've utilized this in their express passes. You get more artisan per tap when you fail, and your honing chances are better. That way, the average cost for a particular hone is much closer, and it brings in those edges of being super lucky and super unlucky, and it just brings them in so that more players are falling in the average zone. And that's how it needs to be for honing. You shouldn't have to wait and go through the terrible process of honing to 1620 just to get to advanced honing, which is actually a somewhat decent system, and it looks really fun because you're always progressing no matter what. And they've brought in those severe edges of unlucky and lucky a lot with that honing system. So that's why I'm so excited for Echidna to come. But even honing my War Dancer right now, trying to get her up to 1620, it's not the most fun thing in the world. It just feels bad. It's like, okay, well, you know, this is something I gotta do. Tap, 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 tap. Okay, now I have 0 gold. So these 3 systems really, they all need the same treatment. They need to decrease the disparity between luck and unluck and make it more of an average so that people can progress with those systems more linearly. It will feel much more rewarding, and it will be a much more fun and enjoyable time because you know you're going to progress if they and when they make those changes. Now, another thing we got to talk about with gold spending and not having much of it, the general thought process of still trying to play 6 main characters is not possible at this point in the game. If you have 6 characters that are all above 1600 and you're still honing all of them, you're still investing that gold into all of them, then they are all sucking gold out of your account and you're never making any excess gold. That's just the way it is at this point in the game. And I have discussed this topic in another one of my videos, and according to the comments, definitely one of my most controversial videos, talked about why I didn't hone my alts up to 1580 at a certain point in the game. I have honed a few of my alts past that point now, but then I was saving all my gold. I was utilizing my alts just to make gold to push to my main, my Glavier. But if you're playing 6 characters and you're also honing all 6 of your characters, and much less if you're doing transcendence and elixirs on all those characters, you're never going to have any gold because they are systems that take your gold. That's just the way it is. And you know, that's why I have 0 gold, and I only have 3 characters that I'm doing transcendence on, and I'm not funneling any gold into this account at all from my other rosters or anything like that. This is just my main roster's gold, and I run down to 0 each week. And that's only 3 characters, and 2 of them are doing normal. Now, if that's the way you want to play the game, that is 100% fine. However, it's kind of going against the design of the end game of Lost Ark and the fact that we just don't get enough materials and enough gold to do that, because as the exponential cost increases, your gold increases, your material increases are not exponential. They are extremely linear through the different eye levels and events and raids and things that you do. For example, you know, doing hard a con, right, 1600 eye level, you get what, 10,000 gold? Well, doing Brel hard 1 through 3 plus 4 normal gives you 10,000 gold as well, but that only costs 1550 item level to get to, which is exponentially less. It's crazy the difference that it costs to go from 1550 to 1600, but you're getting the same amount of gold for one of those raids. And that's why I say the gold amount, the material increase, your resources are extremely linearly increased, not exponential, but your cost is very exponential. It goes sky high, okay? So that's just something you have to understand. Just some food for thought. And there's no wrong way to play the game. You know, as long as you're having fun and that's what you want to do, that's cool. But you gotta accept that that's also what's going to happen if you decide to play like that. Now, if you're wanting to know how to make more gold, I definitely have a few guides that you can go watch on how to make more gold in general. It covers pretty much everything besides market flipping or auction house flipping, anything like that. It covers all the main ways that you're going to be able to make gold in Lost Ark. And besides that, a huge thing that I would suggest you do if you are pretty concerned with how much gold you're having at the end of the week, look at where you're spending your gold. Are you spending it on skins? Are you spending it on all of your alts? Or maybe you're trying to min-max your accessories when really you're not getting a whole lot out of it. Try to look at ways to reduce your gold costs. That way you can spend your gold in a more fulfilling way that's gonna make you enjoy the game more, instead of just banging your head against the wall and, you know, talking about how bad the transcendence and elixir systems are, or honing systems, or whatever. And that way you can at least be using your gold efficiently in the present state of the game. But guys, let me know down in the comments below what you think about all this, the elixir system, the transcendence system, maybe some solutions, the honing system. Let me know. Be constructive. Hit me in the deepest part of my brain, okay? I want to hear about what y'all think. But that is everything for this video. I just really wanted to talk about this topic a little bit, maybe give you some things to think about. So if I did that, if you liked the video, if I gave you some things to think about, maybe looking at a little bit different perspective, then make sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, or if you just like Lost Art content, so consider subscribing as well. I would love to see you around here more. But guys, that is everything for this one, and I will see you on the next one, and I'll see you around Arcasia. Actually, I've been seeing a lot of y'all around, and it's always nice whenever you say hi. So don't be shy, guys. I always say hi back, I promise. But for now, bye-bye.